I never thought I would do another Confessions of a Broken Heart episode. If you need to know more information, there'll be like a playlist or something in the four corners at the end. But there's a lot of stuff that I've got to confess, even all these years later. Um, this is an extremely hard video for me to do because I'm going to speak the truth about things. Not just about my fiance of 6 years, but other relationships. Before this person became my fiance of 6 years, she was just a girlfriend, right? I was her first boyfriend, her third boyfriend. There's a gap there. There's a reason. The first time I met her, I don't even know how I met her. I think it was through like MySpace or Facebook or something. I didn't know what to expect because I've been out with a lot of people before her. When I was in my mid-20s. Was it mid-20s? I'd say 20s. But when I first saw her for the first time, I thought she was beautiful, very cute, very shy, didn't speak much. And I knew there was something about her that I really liked. And when her stepfather was interfering back in those early stages and got me out of the picture, I'm just shortening it down. And I was so crushed when we broke up. She never realised how crushed I was because it was like, I knew that I felt something. I mean, back then I think it was only like 3 months we dated, but I felt something very good about this woman. And I thought, that's a real shame that the stepfather, and he's not even a stepfather because he never married her mum. Her mum was, married to her dad, and her mum had an affair with this other bloke, and this other bloke became her dad, stepdad, even though they never got married. And it fucking pisses me off because, I'm sorry, but he's not a nice guy. Her father was a fucking gentleman, and I have so much respect for him. But this other guy just manipulated her, controlled her, and he does that with all his kids. So when we broke up, I was like, oh well, it is what it is. She moved on and I moved on. I had a lot more girlfriends after her, but she only had one guy after me. Because don't forget, I was her first boyfriend and her third, yeah? The guy in between. 5 years later, right? I didn't even realise that I went to a wrestling event. Just see my mate wrestle, yeah? After the show, I took a photo of him, But I didn't realise until, I don't know if it was even a year later or while I was with my other partner, but I noticed she was in the background. She was there with her current boyfriend, the one after me. I didn't even notice this until like it's so fucked up. Like, I didn't realize when I took the photo, she was like in the background, right? And it's funny because that night, like, my dad was there with me, and I sensed like there was someone there that I knew, but I did that I wanted to see, and I didn't realize it was her. Anyway, fast track. One night, I was going through a bit, and I said a prayer. I said, I pray that someone comes into my life that's decent and someone that's going to love me for me and respect me. And I shit you not, the very next day she popped up again. She was single and we started talking, and she's like, you want to catch up? And I said, do you remember me? She's like, yeah, I do remember you. And I was just like, you single? And she's like, yeah, single. So I'm like, oh, cool. But then I'm like to myself, now, if I was to be a boyfriend again, what's going to happen? Is it the same bullshit that's going to happen again? So we met up. She was a bit bigger this time around. We met at the bus stop. There's like a interchange thing where there's like a shopping centre and there's like a bus place, and you meet at the bus place. And when I saw her, I said, man, she's still beautiful. And I got tingly feelings all over my body. And When, because at the time I didn't have my license, so Dad picked us up, and she got back to mine, and we talked about relationship. Long story short, got into a relationship, but I was nervous because I'm like, oh, what if, she wants someone that can give her sex, or, be good at, and because it was a while since I had all that stuff, I was just like, So I had a friend at the time that was, helping me in that department, sex, hooking up, because I wanted to be perfect for this woman. I wanted to be perfect. And long story short, when me and my partner started to get serious, the other girl said, we can't see each other now because this woman really loves you. And I cut it off with the other one. And the woman I fell in love with back then isn't the same person now. I was with this person for 6 years. My mum and dad absolutely adored her. My mum treated her very well. My dad considered her like a daughter-in-law. And I knew that I had something special. I had a woman that could be a good mother to my kids, be a good mother in general. Didn't do drugs, didn't smoke, barely drunk. When she did drink, oh my God, it was so good. But she was more on my level. We did the same things. We both loved the same things. We both played video games, both loved going out. We went to Sydney together, went to Melbourne together. And the reason why it hurts to this day is because that's not the same person anymore. Her brain has been corrupted by bullshit, and she is never going to be independent or enjoy her life to the full extreme. I don't see anything that would change in her life to make me say, oh yeah, things are going to get better. Her current partner, her fourth boyfriend, remember I was the first and third, well, her current partner, he's not even with her. He has got mental issues. He's obese. He's disgusting to look at. He's very unhealthy. He's got nothing going for him. And the fact that weeks after we broke up, after 6 years, you'd think, well, you loved each other, you're not going to move on quickly. And to this day, I still don't know how the fact that this guy just popped up out of nowhere. He popped up out of nowhere. I don't think he's good enough for her. And I'll go on record and say that. I think if she knew who the guy was now, she would dump that fucker and go with me. But would I have her back? I honestly don't know. I would like to obviously make peace and be a gentleman and apologise for my disgusting behaviour. I was disgusting. And I regret some of the things I did. But I'm not that person anymore. I got my shit together. The last time I saw her was there was a Pokemon event. It was a couple of months after we broke up. And she knew I was going to be there. I was with my YouTuber, Pro Planning. Check him out on YouTube. And I went off and did my own thing. And I know that in the distance I saw her, and that was the path I had to go. We both looked at each other, smiled, and it was almost like she wanted to say something, but she couldn't because her two stupid, retarded friends were with her. And I wanted to say, sorry, I love you, I didn't get the chance. So I kept walking, But when I went to look back, she thought I didn't notice, but I know she turned around at the same time. And she had tears in her eyes because she knew it was the last time we'd see each other and say goodbye. And it was almost like she wanted to say something. Like, when she turned around, she didn't see me, but I saw her because I went around the corner. But I saw her. And it ripped me to shreds. But I knew that I had to get my shit together. Not just for her sake, but for everyone's sake. And I became the person she wanted me to be. It's just hard to know that She was the only one that was decent that's ever come into my life in my relationships. And to be fair, like, the relationships that I've had since then is absolutely fucking disgusting. You already know my previous videos of the last 2 people I dated. So vile, so disgusting. I hate them. I hate those 2 people that I've dealt with for the last 4 months. Say 4 months? I'd say 4 months because, yeah, it all started in November, and yeah, like, I can't believe people can be so disgusting to their own kids. Because it's like, it's not just what they did to me, but to their own kids. Disgusting what they do to animals, the way they treat their own homes. Check the last vids, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But I've never found anyone decent. And people say, oh, but don't worry, you know, you're still young, you'll find someone. It's like, I don't want to find anybody. I'm happy that I hooked up with 9 people last year. They're all repulsive, most of them. And I wouldn't ever have any of them in relationships. And yeah, I've already done 3 this year. I've hooked up 3 times. And there could be easily a 4th, a 5th. When I want to. You think that when I come on Facebook and YouTube that I'm all happy and smiles and shit. I've got a lot of shit with my health, you know, going on in my life that I can't fix. And I realize as I get older, I'm not happy because, you know, I had a beautiful fiance that was willing to do anything for me. And she stuck by me as long as she could. And I respect her. But when her own family kept interfering and her sister that she lived with was absolutely vile, I couldn't put up with that shit. Like, but yeah, the whole, so when I first met her, right, she and her sisters and her mum all dressed the same. Black leggings, black top. Very fucking depressive. Alright? When I saw that, I was just like, black makes you feel depressed. It makes you feel fat. It makes you feel, you know, very down on yourself. And the moment she started wearing pretty dresses, stockings, she became a very colourful person. She became a lot more happier. She felt a lot more beautiful about herself. And that is the key these days to depression in one way. So if you feel bad about yourself, you feel ugly, put on some makeup, put on some nice clothes, and it'll make you feel better as a person. Like, I know fat people, or overweight people, they always feel bad in that. And I say to them, it's the clothes you wear. Like, leggings are not very flattering, and, you know, you've got to wear nice bright colours, positive colours, because black and dark colours make you feel depressed and sad. Bright colours, dresses and flowery dresses, even stockings, like, you can really make yourself feel better about yourself. So just knowing how that family is, it disgusts me. Because without me, she wouldn't have gone and met her real dad. She didn't have a relationship for so many years with her real father. And I was like, nah, I would love to do something special. And when they first reunited after so many years, I cried because seeing a father and a daughter in each other's arms that haven't seen each other, it was the most beautiful thing I've seen in life. And I'm so proud of myself that I got to arrange that to those two. Because he was a gentleman. He did nothing wrong. And he got screwed over by her mother and the other guy. They fucked him over. And that's what really rips me. The bond between a father and a daughter. So before I met my partner, she was a puppet on the strings. And I cut all those strings and they fucking hated that. I started to give her a life that she never had. Give her independence. Give her freedom to do stuff. Not just stay in a house all day. Not be watched 24/7. Like, they had a guy that was in her life that they wanted her to be with. They wanted her to be with him so they could keep an eye on her 24/7. Know everything that what she's doing. That's sick. And the fact that they got access to a bank account too. And all the kids do. Like, they have access to all their kids' bank accounts. So they were never giving her the life that she needed. But I got the bad guy syndrome. No matter what I did. Even one time, it was a Christmas dinner, and I made this beautiful cold meats platter. Like, I made it really nice and fancy, like something you'd see in a store, professional store. Yeah, they didn't touch it. I did so much, and I never got respect from them. And I hated the fact that I got judged because I wasn't the guy that, they wanted me, like, they wanted me out of the picture the first time around and this time around. They never gave me a chance. The sister that lived with her gave me hell. She tormented me, flirted with me, and fucking it became to a point where I was just like, fuck this. There's only so much I can take, and they were poking me, tormenting me almost, to a point where I broke. And then, years later, I, clean up my act and stuff, and then this blonde came into my life that I rescued from a relationship. Now, this blonde, I didn't think she would fuck me over because she said that, the relationship she was in was abusive. She wasn't in love with him. I mean, before I met her, she hooked up with one other guy, but she didn't want to be with that guy. Even though, she's living with the guy for 10 years or some shit. And so one night, we met up, me and this girl, because her boyfriend was out of town and that. And within 4 or 5 seconds of me getting out the car, she runs out the house, jumps on me, wraps her legs around me and starts pashing me. Keep in mind, she got a boyfriend at the time. And that moment, there was chemistry with this other girl. I was like, well, it's been a while since, I've had a decent relationship. It was, don't forget, when I broke up with my missus, I went down a downward spiral. My fiance of 6 years, I was hooking up within a month with someone else. I'll get to that story in a minute. But this other one was more my type, skinny blonde and that. So the one thing, we went into this house, and it was a boyfriend's mother's house, but she wasn't home at the time, yeah? So we were in her room, and she was holding my hand and kissing me. She was like, I noticed something about you. And I'm like, what's that? She goes, you're not trying to fuck me. I'm like, nah, I'm trying to be more respectful. And she's like, you're a gentleman. And I'm like, yeah. Long story short, one night she's like, I'm ready to leave my boyfriend to be with you. This was 11:30 at night. I was on my way home from the beach when I got that message, and I was doing a live stream when I got that message, and I froze and went, now what the fuck do I do? I'm going to bring a total stranger into my home and tell my parents, oh yeah, she's going to be living with us. If I knew what I knew now back then, I would never have made that commitment. So she stole her boyfriend's car, got all her furniture, all her belongings, stuck it in the car, drove down, because it was about an hour and a half. So she got to the meeting point where we were meeting at 6 in the morning. Keep in mind, I'm fucking tired, alright? 6 in the morning. Before that, don't forget the message first came at 11:30 at night. And for 2 hours, I heard nothing from her. I'm like, oh fuck, what if she got caught, trying to leave? Maybe the boyfriend got angry or something. And yeah, I pulled over the side of the road thinking, what the fuck's happening here? Is she dead or is she alive? What? She's like, I'm going to see you. I'm on my way. Now, I didn't know what to expect. Long story short, we know how that relationship ended. She left me for my cousin. A guy that is vile, disgusting, woman basher, druggie, everything opposite to me. She chose that over me. Now, I wish them both the best of luck in life, no matter how long he's got to live. But that fucking person I didn't love, even though I was living with her and all that, I knew there was something going on behind my back. And someone once said to me, have you ever looked at the photos of you and her together? And I said, no, not really. Like, we took a lot of photos. They said, she's got the same fake smile in every photo. And I look at it now and go, she did. It was like a fake smile. And one of the photos, it's kind of funny, was the early stages. I had a photo of me with my hand like this on her breast, right? Us two smiling away. That photo is copied with her and my cousin. The same sort of photo. Coincidence? I don't think so. And I think that when I look at the photos of me and her together, they look beautiful. They look like two people actually in love, even though I wasn't in love. And I spoiled her. I was really good to her. But the way it ended fucking disgusts me. Because she's a liar. Because the stuff she said about her ex before me, she's trying to say the same thing about me. Long story short, the court case with her and her ex, he won because they found out she's a fucking compulsive liar. My court case against her, I won because of the same story. She cheated on her first boyfriend with me and another guy, and then she cheated on me to be with him. And I'm the bad guy. And the funny thing is, like, when her mother passed away, she didn't like her mother while she was alive. Always rubbished her. And wasn't even going to invite her to the wedding. Oh, commitment of love ceremony, by the way. Yeah, not a marriage, a commitment of love ceremony. It's a different thing. Commitment of love ceremony, you get all the bells and whistles of an actual wedding, but you're not husband and wife. No marriage certificate. And still she uses my surname to this day, even though she's not one of us. You didn't legally get married. You're still the same. Anyways, when she was out of my life, it was good. Though, until her and my cousin break up, she's always going to feel like she's part of the family, and I feel like I've brought that into the family when I shouldn't have ever brought that into the family. So when I broke up with, going back to what I said before, when my fiance broke up with me, when I went down that Darren Wood spiral, there was a druggie that I used to hook up with, right? One night we went to the beach and it was pouring down with rain, and I'm like, can I just have some cuddles in the back seat? Yeah, sure. Just cuddling, kissing, holding hands. And then she's like, you want to do it? And I'm like, so messed up in my head. I'm like, fuck it, let's just do it. I don't give a fuck. And I've said this story in a previous vid, like, she mounted me, wrapped her legs around me in the back seat. She had this nice little white miniskirt on, and we fucked and fucked and fucked for an hour and a half. And she's like, how have you got so much energy? How are you still up? And I'm like, I don't know. And I gave her a couple of orgasms, and she's like, it's my turn to give it to you. And I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, you did your job very well 3 times. I'm like, oh, okay, fair enough. Wasn't thinking straight at the time. And she's like, you want it? And I'm like, nah. I'm like, you good? And she's like, I'm good. And I'm like, okay. So I did the job. But the way I was looking at her was like, I feel nothing. I felt no love, nothing. I just felt empty. I fucked my brains out. I fucked her brains out to a point where I felt nothing. And don't forget, this was like 3 weeks, a month after. So, because me and my fiance broke up December the 23rd. And I know sometime in January, me and the other girl just, yeah. Long story short, I haven't seen that other girl for a long time. I don't know what happened to her. She went off the deep end or some shit. But, yeah, like, I get to that point in my life where I'm just... There was one chick last year that we just... There's no boundaries. this other chick, and we hook up every now and again, and literally we just fuck and fuck and fuck. There's no breath of fresh air. Like, we don't go up. We just keep going and going and going to a point where she's older than me. She's like 43, 44, I think. Very experienced. But with her, and I've said this in a previous vid, I nearly had a heart attack and died. Because it was so fast and we just couldn't stop. And I literally I blacked out for a couple of seconds because it was that fast, that good, choking me. I reckon she nearly cut my circulation off because it was that intense. And I that's the sort of sex I want, to a point where I'm gonna fucking die. I don't give a fuck. I have no safety word. I don't have any boundaries. Like, the boundaries are obviously don't chuck on me, don't piss or shit on me. Like, no animals or kids. That's it. Like, you can chain me, whip me. No more hot wax. Fuck, no more hot wax shit. Ugh. But I do get to these points in life where I'm like so fucking not feeling anything. Every day I don't feel anything. Because I get fucked over. And there's motherfuckers on Facebook, like fake little blondes, that fucking, you know, all happy and joyful and flirting and chatting to me. But the moment I post something on my Facebook about a friend that needed cheering up, oh yeah, I'm like the worst person in the world. They don't feel nothing. They never did for me. They never liked me in that way. Fuck off, you stupid bitch. The reason why you are single is because you're fucking so stuck up. And she had, like, this girl that's on my Facebook had a guy that liked her, and she was kind of saying, and he made her feel like shit and all that. And I'm like, yeah, well, he's a fucking idiot. You know, you were flirting with me all this fucking time and being happy the moment I post something. And she claims that she doesn't watch my videos, but she does. She watches all my videos. The Facebook ones, the YouTube ones. So she always keeps an eye on me. Because she knows that, you know, she fucked up. She knows she's doing the wrong by me. I've been nothing but nice. She thinks, oh, but you talk to all girls the same. I do not talk to all fucking women the same. See, there are certain friends that need cheering up. And I make them feel special. I make them feel loved and appreciated. I make them feel beautiful. Alright? Because they need it. Alright? I don't just throw out the love word to anybody. I say I love you to people that are close to me. Not everybody gets the love word. You know Kesha's song, Your Love Is My Drug? Yeah. I don't know why I wanted to make mention Kesha there. She's in Adelaide right now being a total slut. But we'll get back to that subject on Behind the Music, an episode coming up. Overrated piece of shit she is. But I hate the fact that when women are in relationships, right, and they're clearly not happy, and they want to hook up with other guys, and they find nothing wrong with having sex with another guy, hooking up with another guy. They find nothing wrong with it. And their excuses are, oh, but they're bored. Well, then if you're bored, get rid of that fucking dude and go with someone that will have sex with you, will hook up with you. That simple. It's not fucking rocket science. Like, I've had a lot of women over the years that have been in relationships, still hook up with me, still send me nudes, still send me photos. And it's like, I'm not the one asking for this. It's them that, you know, do it to me. And it's like, well, what do I do here? You know, you give off the wrong impression when you're the one that's doing the wrong. And I find that so fucking disgusting. Like, I'm not going to say no. If a woman comes up to me and, like, says, I want to fuck you, I want to hook up with you, I'm not going to fucking say no. Like, why the fuck would I? You know, it's one of those things where it's just like, I'm not forcing them to do it. And I'll tell you something, I'm not going to, you know, toot my own horn here. But when I hook up with someone, they don't complain. They don't complain. I'm pretty proud of myself for that part. I'm not down there. I'm not very proud of that. But, you know, I'm very proud of... I don't force myself. The last one I hooked up with, well, the last two. I'm not going to talk about the first one of the year. I'm going to talk about the last two. The third one was so fucked. And when we, because she lives down the road, one night we finally met up, and there wasn't supposed to be any kissing, nothing physical, right? Long story short, as I'm saying goodnight, we go in for the hug, and then she starts kissing me on the lips. I'm like, you said there was not going to be kissing. And she starts, kissing me and all that. Long story short, a day or two later, wants to meet up again. Says nothing's going to happen and all that shit. I'm like, all right, I'll come. You want me to come there? Yeah, come there. All right. Then I get a message like, what time you coming? Then blocks me. Well, fuck you then. This woman is just cuckoo. The one before that, I met after the Youngblood concert. I met up with a girl, and I thought, oh yeah, nothing's gonna happen. Maybe hug. But we kissed. I liked kissing her. It's what happened afterwards that freaked me out. I was just like, this isn't normal. Like, I'm not gonna say what happened, but it got to a point where I'm like, I sure know how to pick them. Like, what is it with me picking these people that are just, yeah, I really do find the wrong type. So, an update on my situation. I do like being single. I do like the fact that I can play video games whenever I want, go out whenever I want, wherever the fuck I want, talk to whoever the fuck I want, without being in an environment where I'm not appreciated. My relationship, the one I broke up with this year, and I said this in the previous vid, when I broke up with her, alright, for the reasons in the previous vid, I just wanted to be done with drama. I wanted to be done with bullshit. But 3 weeks later, out of the bloom, rocks up at my gate, sends me a photo and Messenger. I'm at the front gate. It's like, no, well, number one, you're not allowed to be driving without a license. And she claims that her cousin was driving. It's like, number one, you don't bring a total fucking stranger to my fucking house where my parents live. Right? That's stalking and that's creepy as fuck. But unannounced, that was really fucked up. Even my friends were like, you should report her for that. And then you've got like crazy exes from the past, doing the shit that they do. It's like, there's a reason why I dumped your fucking asses. And I'll take an example, and I'm going to be fucking rude here, but the moment she was getting drunk and she was wearing fishnets and a fucking top, yeah? Right? Barely covering her. When she were about to go and do it, then, oh, sorry, we can't because my neighbours are coming over. These are druggy neighbours, by the way. Druggies. And people that will badly influence her. So she kicked me out to be hanging with them. And then I find out that the next day, she got so drunk that she was walking around with just her top on. No panties, no nothing. So 2 male adults and a female adult basically saw her cunt. I should have dumped her then. Not the fact that that's cheating, but it's the fact that you have your kids there and you put them in that sort of environment and you walk around with no panties on in front of 2 males and a female that can see you're down there. You're a fucking dirty slut. That's fucking cheating. I should have dumped her ass then and there. That's fucking disgusting. And she ended up going to bed with one of the women. Oh, sorry, the woman that was there. And don't forget, the girl is bi. So you're in bed with another woman, even though she's not that way inclined, you have no underwear on. Wow. And that's just like one example. If you watched, I think it was the previous video, there'll be links. You'll know why I should have broken up with that fucking disgusting thing ages ago. And the fact that she had contact with the ex before her. Between them both, they should not have children. They should fucking go to rehab or go to jail, both of them. I wouldn't even be surprised in years to come, or even this year, they both end up in jail. Because they just so fucking vile and disgusting. I've dated the worst of the worst, and these two, I seriously wish I never met. The one from 1 year ago, I thought was vile, and nothing's changed about that one. I saw her on a live stream one day and went, what the fuck? She literally had a bowl of wine, like a big bottle, and she's just chugging it, and you think, wow, you haven't grown up. You're still the same fucking... I don't know what it is about these women that they shouldn't have kids. Especially when they've got drinking and alcohol problems, drug problems. It fucking disgusts me how people can have kids. And someone was saying, it's not fair, Andre, how you're a nice guy and a decent woman would want you, and you settle for this trash, these druggies, these stoners, these fucking unemployed bums that don't want to do anything with their lives but complain and go on Facebook and act all depressed and shit. I don't know why either. I have a fucking heart, but I feel like there's no love in it anymore. There's no passion to keep going. Like, I don't have lots of years left in me. To be honestly truthful, there's not. I have, reckon, at my current job, maybe I've got 2 years left in me at best at the current job. As for my health, I'm at an age where I don't see living past 50. Just being honest. I don't want to keep going. The world's a fucked place as it is, and I don't want to be part of this. I would happily die in my car with the exhaust on and just go to sleep, listening to my favourite music, eating my favourite food, drinking my favourite soft drinks. That's how I'd like to go personally. Because it's painless, it's quick, and you just go to sleep. No self-mutilation, no making yourself sick. The fumes come in and you're just listening to your music that you love, and you're drinking whatever you like. For me, it's Dr. Pepper. I love my Dr. Pepper. Maybe a bit of Faygo. My food choice would be probably CC's or Doritos with some Skittles or something. And I just go to sleep. Peacefully. Not in pain. Because I wake up every day in pain and I can't get rid of that pain. So I might as well just go that way. And you may think, well, that's a selfish way to go. It's like, no. Because it doesn't bother anyone. Nobody will know I'm going, because I won't like post. The thing that pisses me off about people doing that shit on Facebook and Snapchat, they never fucking do it. They want the sympathy thing, and they don't fucking do it. And then the next day, like, oh, I'm sorry, I did this. It's like, you're not fucking sorry. If you're sorry, you wouldn't have posted that shit. It's selfish that you post suicidal shit on Facebook or YouTube or whatever, because you're making your friends worry for no reason. And you do realise when you post that shit, dog's going choco. Anyways, I've had my outburst, but I thought I'd just come out and say this video because, like I said, there's a lot going on that I wanted to get off my chest. There's some... What the fuck is going on with those dogs? I'm going to go sort that out. Check the four corners of your screen. Thank you for watching this vid. If you want to private message me afterwards, that'll be great. If you want some more answers. Maybe I didn't answer some things in this vid. To any of my exes watching, none of yous mean shit to me. I don't think about any of yous but one. My fiance of 6 years was the only person I've ever loved as a partner. My first love, when I was 19, I was too young at the time. I do miss that one. That one I do miss. But I've moved on with my life and I'm a lot more better because I have moved on with my life. But all you other exes, go suck a cucumber and put it in your fucking ass afterwards, and then suck it again, and then swallow it, and then shit out the shit. You get my point. Jay and Silent Bob reference. If you don't know, look it up. You don't mean anything to me. I don't miss you. I don't love you. I don't fucking care about you if you live or die. I'd rather you die because the world would be a better place with some of you out of it. And I truly mean that. And I'm not saying this in a fucking nasty way. But what you do to human beings, what you do to children, what you do to family members, what you do to other men with your compulsive lying and your cheating, and the cruelty of animals and kids, no. You shouldn't be allowed to keep going on in life doing that. You make me sick. It's people like you that fucking stay alive for some reason and all the good people fucking die. And I don't understand it. And yeah, I may sound nasty coming off from this shit, but if you'd watch the previous videos that I made, you'd understand that these people are fucking sick. And they don't want to help themselves, and they don't improve in life. You know, the last one said to me, "Oh, I'm not going to be like the last girl, you know. She was a fucking disgusting whore, and she was a violent, angry girl." But she ended up being the same as her. No Panties girl ended up being the same as the ex before her. She rubbished the shit out of the other girl, and she became that person. And then after we broke up, talked to that girl and believed the bullshit lies that girl told her. They both need to be in a mental asylum. Their alcohol and their drugs and the fact that the way they treat their kids. How the fuck did they have kids? Like, I have a beautiful girlfriend in America that has 6-7 kids, yeah? But she fucking loves her kids, right? And she's not doing drugs, not doing alcohol, and she is raising them to the best of her abilities being a single mum. Now, if I lived there, that would be my girlfriend. If she lived here, that would be my girlfriend. We've talked about this. We're like, it's a shame that we don't live in the same place because we both love each other and find each other attractive, and we don't want relationships with anybody. So we are that close, me and her. And I have another American friend that doesn't have kids, and she's a beautiful young emo girl, and it's sad that people look at her for something that, you know, like, what they say on her TikTok streams is fucking disgusting. But I was in a relationship with that one on Facebook for like 1.5 years. Because when I first, like, this is just, you know, me and the emo girl were like, oh, we could be boyfriend and girlfriend, like, you know, between us if you want. She goes, oh, I'm happy to put it on a relationship. When she put in a relationship, everyone saw who it was. It was me. And everybody at my end saw who it was. And everyone was like, but she lives in America. And it's like, you don't need to have a real relationship. You can call each other boyfriend and girlfriend and put relationship on Facebook. She talked to me. She sent me photos. She was very upfront, honest. She made me feel human. Now, I'll tell you this, the thing about long distance relationships, if they live in a different country, it won't work. You'll both go broke. If they live in a state, you'll still go broke. Long distance relationships will never work because it's not like you can just go, I need a hug, I need a kiss, I need sex, because you can't. They live in another place. And if something bad happens to you in emergencies, they can't just come over and stop everything. So that's why I say to people that have a long distance relationship, it won't work. And it will get to a point where you'll just end up hooking up with someone locally. So I tell people long distance relationship will never work and you need to get your shit together. Anyways, great videos coming up. Behind the music's coming up. And yeah, trying to make a intro video for behind the music. I'll work on something fancy. And check the 4 corners of your screen now, and I'll talk to you all soon.